The Sounds of Nature scenario is a scenario developed for upper secondary students, especially for a physics or biology teacher. What I want to produce in this scenario is a way for the students to tackle with frequency and pitch and amplitude with our sonic sound concepts that might be a little hard to understand. So it's a way of, in a, let's say, fun and different way, and also a collaborative way to learn how to deal with these things in the context of the Europeana platform. Many 21st century competences have been taken into account while developing the scenario. First and foremost might be that creative thinking, because the students, the teacher just gives them like a problem and they are the ones who have to come up with a solution. So a lot of input from themselves has to come, not from the teacher, which for me was the main focus of the scenario. Then it's also very important, the collaboration between the students, because they are grouped in sometimes 2 students, sometimes 4 students, so that way they have to work together, you know, and that is always something that is very rewarding for the students at the end. Also very important is communication. I mean, it's not only just about working among themselves and develop something, it's just that they have to communicate, and at the end of the scenario they have to produce, there is like a celebration of the learning, so they have to show to the educational community what they have done. So they are going to learn also about communication. This is a STEM scenario, so all that has to deal with technology, media and technology literacy is of great importance. They will be working with mobiles, so there is also like mobile learning involved, with the computers, ICT, they will be working with several programs, and at the end, though I have already mentioned it, it's very important, the productivity. So this is not something for them only to learn, they also have to produce, so they will be producing posters, they will be producing a stand where they will be putting all their products to show to the educational community. If you're a teacher and you want to create an innovative learning scenario with Europeana content, the first advice that I could give you is to go to the curated data sets. There you could take a look and see if something suits your curricula or the subjects that you are teaching. Then once you have seen the data that you may use, the resources from Europeana that you may use, then you have a template, which is the learning scenario template, and then this is like the frame where you could be adding all the things that you may need to develop this activity in your lessons. So the template will help you with deciding what type of activity you are going to do with your students, how are you going to implement resources from Europeana, 21st century skills that you think are relevant for what you are producing, and finally it will give you like a step-by-step procedure. Therefore, you at the end will end up with a round result that you can go and implement with your students in your lessons.